Hello and good evening. My name is John. We're here playing Ignis Avis Venatio. You'll have to take my word for it. I probably can't pronounce this. Part of my Steam cleaning series where I go through every game in my Steam library, eventually, and then arbitrarily rate and or review them at a wee bit of playtime. Now, I don't quite know what this game is, but I'm willing to guess it's a visual novel based on the way that the visual style and control is set up. We're going to hit start and find out together. Or, okay, Chapter 1, The Phoenix. Okay, this is definitely visual novel land. I tend not to concern myself with people. I mean, why would I? What's the point of it? What effect? Effect or effect? What effect do I have on the outside world? And how does it affect me? Okay, so they have both uses. Very little, in my opinion. I can only have an opinion on the world and its inhabitants because I am presently here, thinking. When I'm gone, there will be nothing. I think. Therefore I am. In other words, I am the world. There exists no world outside my perception. Or is that not what Descartes meant when he coined the phrase? Probably not, eh? Well, that's my philosophy, and that's how I've survived my 15 years old. Oh, hold on here. We got a real philosopher on our hands. My 15 years of life thus far. Or so I think. Apparently I have amnesia. Everything prior to waking up at the hospital a month ago is but a blur. During a teary Skype, and there's no registered trademark there, Skype call with my parents, I learned I was a runaway kid named Cain Blanchard. Since they then enrolled me in public school in London, and that's what's been occupying my time since release from the hospital. I've rolled over my side, back to the wall, surveying my small apartment room. I notice clothes and material books. Material books scattered across the floor. A pungent odor found its way to my nostrils. I forgot to throw away the pizza. Get the door? That's your phone? That's your alarm clock. Shut up. I swung my arm over, putting the alarm clock in snooze mode, consequently knocking over the book I was reading the previous night from my nightstand. Any day now we'll get an image. It was utterly useless topic. Greek mythology. I couldn't make it past Pandora's box before dozing off into oblivion. In summary, the lady decides to open a box, the box she didn't have to open. Something that wouldn't have affected her since she let it be. Well, she opened the box and let loose some wild crap. Because of her, negativity was born, sin, sadness, anguish, evils. For me, I'd have left the box alone. That's my philosophy after all. What am I doing ruminating in solitude the first thing in the morning? I leapt off the bed, preparing myself for another monotonous day of school. Hey, images! The wafting sense of breakfast reaches me as I stepped out in the living room. It was all ready, laid out on the table. My heart was set aflutter as I gazed towards the balcony, a petite girl coming into my vision. I know what you're thinking. This a-hole's got a girlfriend living with him? Maybe he's not much of as a jerk as inductorial monologue made out to be. Okay, so I'm playing a guy who thinks too much, has amnesia, and lives with, apparently, girls. That's fine, really. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. No, friends, I assure you I'm a child of solitude, a dweller in the dark abyss. The fact that I have such a person living with me is by mere chance. I may be an a-hole, but boy am I a lucky one. The girl in front of me emanates an aura of true magnificence, kind, warm, delicate. Such words can only be used to describe the one known as Theory Campanella. Today's Theory wore a daisy hair clip that pushed her soft light brown hair to her temples. Her tasteful outfit left only the wrists, ankles, and collar in bare sight. She loved to bake, clean, and tend flowers. Her femininity was the sort that made you want to proclaim. Her femininity made you want to proclaim, "I'll protect you," as if you were the protagonist of a cheesy hero manga. She was a girl among girls, one of the greats. Well, this is my diagnosis of an impossibly perfect entity after 2 weeks living in the same flat. That said, we haven't actually engaged in much personal communication. She works at a cafe from early morning and comes home late after her night classes. Perhaps I may be disillusioned by building a fantasy of such perfection around this being. That is more than collar. That is more than wrists. This image. Also, the hair clip does not keep her eye out. Oh, Cain. Good morning. She turned around with a warm smile. Some of the flowers she was holding escaping her grasp. Her entire body, illuminated by the morning sun, gave the appearance of a goddess. No, I was right. She is truly a perfect being. I do not deserve to be in the presence of such a great person. Go ahead and eat, Kane. Breakfast is on the table. Blueberry compote over Dutch crepes. Enjoy. What did I do to deserve such a flatmate? If there was anything lacking about Terry, I'm gonna call it Terry. If there was anything lacking about Terry, it would be her small chest. Small chest certainly had their charm, but I'm definitely a boob man. No. Perhaps the size of the chest would take away from her delicate appearance. If it were up to me, I'd move it up at least a size. Or maybe it's her bra that's hiding the true potential of boobage. I leaned in to decipher what kind of bra she was wearing. A sports bra would certainly diminish her chest size to an extent. What's that? No straps? The only straps I can see are the ones from her shirt. In other words, she is braless. I see. Those small chests don't need bras. That in itself makes smaller chests a touch more erotic. You know, you've been staring at my chest and mumbling to yourself for a while now. Are you okay? Oh, no need to worry. I was just thinking about your chest. It's the color, right? It doesn't suit me, right? I knew pink was too much. Or is it the frills? Her genuine worry over the design of her shirt only pushed the point of her purity. No, it's a nice shirt. I was just thinking about how I'd like a shirt like that too. Really? Thank you. In that case, I'll buy you one next time I go shopping. That's alright. It wouldn't suit me as well as it suits you. I turned on the television. A recent stirring of murders was being examined by the news. Terrible, isn't it? Day just started and there's already 3 people dead. Makes me worry. One of the victims was killed near the cafe where I work. Okay, so they're having trouble here jumping between characters here. Like, they need to identify, like, who's talking. Most visual novel games put the text box with their face and then they move the character back and forth. This one is just writing text over static images. I mean, here, she did change her face a little bit, but when you have this break here, I turn on the television and then they jump to here where I'm at work. It does get a little confusing. Don't worry, Terry. I'll protect you. Rather worry about taking care of yourself first. It's already 7:30. Shouldn't you be going to work? So is that me telling her that, or her? This is what I'm talking about, Kane. At least keep track of the date. It's Sunday, my day off. Seriously? Why am I awake so early? I thought it was such a school day. Darn it. You should be happy spending time with me. How bold. We can tidy up the house together now. That's what she was getting at. Isn't that a waste of your precious day off, Terry? We should go do something. Let's go out for a stroll. Sure. You can go out once we've cleaned. And so, from 7:45 to 10:28, Terry and I did an immaculate job of cleaning the apartment. Goodbye, half-eaten moldy pizza. You're in a better place now. That building? Who said that? Terry and I were on an aforementioned stroll now. Upon inquiring the details of a certain building, Terry began to explain. As far as you don't know, Palace Crepusculum Academia. Something like a targeted post-grad school, but they got a whole department for high school too. It stands where St. Paul's Cathedral once burnt down. Huh. What kind of school is it? It's a privately funded school, closed off from society. There are no campus tours or visitors allowed without specific documentation. I don't know exactly what kind of school it is, but I've heard rumors that they specialize in, well, magic. Something? I don't know. Yes? Oh, ha! It is magic. I told Terry that I'd meet up with her later. She went on her way to the market, leaving me to my endeavors. By my endeavors, I mean attempting to break into this magic school. It sounded like a much more complicated task in my head. When I reached the building front gate, it wasn't locked. To my surprise, nor was the entrance. I was prepared to be thrown out by a security guard at any moment, yet none came. The establishment was deathly quiet. It's Sunday, bro. People aren't there. Not a person in sight. It was a vast and ostentatious palace. The surrounding grounds were well kept, complete with a garden and fountain. The inside was even more impressive. Polished marble floors, heavily gilded frames, lit by intricate chandeliers. I guess it's where rich kids go. I walked in the room directly in front of the entrance, a chapel. It was eerily quiet in this building. Maybe no one was here, seeing as it was the weekend. I found a directory in the elevator. It appeared to have 7 floors. 2 floors underground were gymnasiums and classrooms, 2 more for lecture halls and cafeteria. The library took up an entire 5th floor. The 6th floor was the headmaster's staff meeting room, and the 7th was the planetarium. What about this floating part here? Is that on the map? Ooh, a planetarium. I'm sure Terry wouldn't mind if I checked it out real quick. Alright, it's literally a planetarium. Alright. The projector was already on when I walked in, casting a clear, starry sky on the screen. Ah, perpetual night. How comforting. Nothing is perpetual. An everlasting night would bring no dawn, if only that were true. Oh, it's Hermione. No, actually, I think Hermione had curly hair. A lone figure stood by the projector, gazing up at the stars with a vacant stare. She responded to my embracing remark, though it felt more as if she were talking to herself than me. The room was dark, but she clearly a looker. Her long hair shone silver against her ivory skin. She looked to be in a deep contemplation, barely even looking my way as she spoke. Oh, sorry, I didn't know anyone else was in here. It's fine, the planetarium is public to all students. There are rarely visitors outside the class, however. I walked slowly into the planetarium with caution. Something about this girl had me on guard. Why is that? This place is rumored to be haunted. She turned to the door to leave. Haunted by what? A ghost who died in the planetarium? That had to be a pretty boring death. The light from the open door shone on her face as she turned her head to say, what the hell is up with this? Like, is she got, like, reflectors or haunted by me? I hear the steady, efficient pace of her footsteps as she walked toward the elevator while I stood frozen on the spot. I was left feeling chilled from her ice-like eyes. It was those eyes she sent my senses screaming danger. Those eyes that pierced me with an uncommon familiarity. Wait! I chased after her, blinded from the full-force sunlight flooding my eyes after emerging in the simulated night sky of the planetarium. She stopped in her tracks, facing forward with her back turned to me. What is it? Do I know you? She finally turned to face me. A flicker of melancholy flashed across her face before resuming her cold stare. No, but I know you. She continued walking. Wait, what do you mean? I shouted after her. For you, cut free from this world, just returned to this place. You should leave. After leaving this building, you should walk away and don't look back. Only tragedy waits if you stay. She turned to the corner, leaving me in a stunned silence. What a weirdo. Back outside in the country yard. Whoa. Oh no. Oh no. Back outside in the courtyard, the sun blazed with noontime ferocity. I walked towards the gate feeling faint. The heat made me queasy. Playing. What was that? I ran to the right of the courtyard where I heard the noise originating from. I noticed a few short drops of blood on the pavement near where I stood. Following the trail of blood, I turned to the corner of the building. Gravel followed the pavement, and after that was a field of grass and trees. With each advancement, the drops of blood on the path became larger. Smaller droplets become puddles. Turn around. That's right. That's what the loony planetarian girl said too, wasn't it? Leave. Don't look back. No sane person would advance any further than this. I mean, what am I, a teenager in a horror film? No, thank you. Nevertheless, I took a step forward. Hey, what are you doing, body? Listen to your master. I took another step and swallowed the knot in my throat. It's a real variety in quality between these. The last one was a lot stronger. The trail led me to the grass and stopped short just behind the trees. I looked down and noticed I was tracking up white chalk from the grass. It appeared as if someone drew a large embellished circle encompassing the entire quarter of the field. As soon as I stepped inside the circumference, all outside noise was cut off. Passing cars, the chattering pedestrians, even the sounds of nature had come to a eerie halt. I scrunched up my face, knowing that the atmosphere had begun to reek of a stagnant metallic odor. Passing a tree, I noticed 3 figures, one of whom was a girl who looked to be about the same age as me, albeit much taller and dramatically bustier. She had short jet black hair and was dressed in a school uniform and carried nothing except a sword. Yep, a sword. A long Japanese samurai katana, to be precise. This Escher-esque drawing here looks... Is she practicing? I looked a little closer and noticed the dark spots at the end of her blade. What is that? Taking notice of me, the katana-wielding schoolgirl shifted her entire body towards my direction. She lowered her body into battle stance. You shouldn't have been able to come here. The change in her position was enough to reel the figure behind her. A small girl being held by what looks like a statue of a hooded goddess is kneeling in a pool of her own blood. The girl's clothes were in tatters and so was her flesh. Platinum blonde locks of hair trailed to the ground where she kneeled, stained by dirt and blood. The scene before me sent my body into red alert. Run away, it said. Let it be, it persisted. It had nothing to do with me. Don't know what these people are, and they don't know who I am. I can run away, call the police, forget this ever happened. This box doesn't have to be opened. If I open it, I might die. Hurry up and get out of here. I got ready to sprint. Help. A single word uttered in such pathetic small voice was all she needed said to render me immobile. We were able to advance beyond the barrier. That must mean you're one of them. No, one of us. What was this chick on about? Man, if I thought the planetarian girl was a loony, this one really takes the cake. I don't know what you're talking about. What are you doing to that girl? I'll call the police. The police won't help. Who you want to contact is the Imperial de Magics. They've already given me their approval. Does this something to do with that voodoo crap Terry was talking about earlier? Is this some sort of satanic ritual? Hot fury gleamed over her eyes. So they're changing the face here to show her mood, but it's covered by text, which is really a bummer. This one couldn't take a joke. No, I shouldn't be joking in this situation in the first place. This must be a defense mechanism. Whole body shook with fear. I couldn't feel my legs. The katana wielding schooler took away from the captive blonde. If you do not move on your own accord, I'll be forced to remove you. I will almost certainly die here if I save this little girl. This was no normal situation. The bloodlust in the katana wielding schoolgirl's eyes alone may suffice to end my existence. My existence. It is really such a worthless thing, isn't it? But maybe I could save this girl. That alone would give some worth to the existence of pain. Lachad. Crap. He began circling around me, but maintaining a sizable distance. I felt honored to be held in such regard. I was completely defenseless, and yet she eyed me as a threat. This is my chance. As soon as she moves far enough away, I'll grab the tattered girl and bolt. No katana-wielding schoolgirl would cut me down before that. But no. My best bet would be to try and free her, then grapple with the katana-wielding schoolgirl, making so she couldn't have to go after little. Get ready, go. Pushing the entirety of my weight forward after being planted on the ground for what felt like ages, I fell face first in the grass, a mouthful of dirt making his way into. I looked at the katana-wielding schoolgirl. He had lowered her sword and looked down at me with a sort of antipathetic countenance. Caution in her eyes had vanished. Hurry up and get out of here. She shooed me away in this disinterested tone, but not bothering to spare another glance. I see. She thought I was trying to flee. I bolted toward the girl again, making a conscious effort to plant my feet in the ground before further. Suddenly, a rush of ice passed over my body. I froze in my tracks. I could feel the vehement resonance from the katana-wielding schoolgirl. She could strike me down in one move. That's what her eyes, gauging the length of my stride, would tell me. But she hadn't struck me down yet. She was still willing to let me go. The little girl was only 3 steps away. Advance or retreat? Do I get a choice? She extended her hands toward me and opened her eyes wide, like a wounded animal looking for help. Just a frightened child. How could anybody be so cruel? I reached out my arms towards her. The gleam of blood-stained blade flashed in the corner of my eye. This is it. Ink. Huh? I felt an impact on the arm that covered my cowering body, but that was it. No sharp pain I was expecting, just impact. I opened my eyes. The katana-wielding schoolgirl was taken aback. She looked down at her cracked blade, then at my arms. My arms glowed red. An outline shaping my hands into claws shone around them. What the hell? Behemoth. It was the small girl who spoke. A demon, screamed katana-wielding schoolgirl in disbelief. Take my hand. She outstretched her hand once more. No, don't touch her. You'll break the seal. The statue holding her posture disintegrated into atmosphere as I grasped her hand. Katana-wielding schoolgirl took out her phone and sighed. It's already past noon. I'm going to have to start the ritual all over again. Doesn't leave much time. She raised her sword. It shone bright in an unnatural illumination. I held the girl tight with my right hand and raised my left, readying myself to block her strike. The blade came down the lightning as the blonde girl escaped my grasp. This time there was pain. My eyes adjusted to the small girl's back. She had a hand on the sword handle, trying to push the katana-wielding schoolgirl away from us. The lacerations on my forearm spouted bright, gushing blood. I didn't even feel it. I stood up and made a grab for the sword. It'd be really nice to see these claws. My claws lengthened. I felt the flesh of her wrist hair. I can use it. I don't even know why, but I know I can. My body remembers. Barely had time to duck as she swung her katana up across my body. I was fast. I could finally see the movements of her blade. I could win. I advanced towards her, not giving her time to prepare herself for a second strike. She wouldn't be able to use her long sword in this range. Her left foot scraped against the floor as she tightened her body, exhaling. Then, with a suddenness that matched the speed of her blade, she punched me hard right in the gut. I stumbled backwards, coughing, gasping for breath. The full force of the pain from my wound is now released. White-hot pain seared through me as I squinted ahead, watching her silhouette raise her sword above me. Move. If I don't move, I will die. Move! For the second time, she swung her blade down with lethal intentions. And for the second time, it stopped with a clang. Huh? Black shoes, black socks, black robe. It was the Looney Planetarian girl. Much like the claws around my arm, the blade struck out from a levitating circle over her head. Again, not shown here. She has stopped the full force of the katana-wielding school's thrust with a tiny, protruding blade. The game hasn't even started yet. Won't allow casualties. It won't start. I won't let it. I'll destroy every single vessel until it's over. Looney Planetarian girl sighed. That's just delaying the inevitable. I can understand why you want to prevent this child's awakening, but I will not condone any further action. Let me destroy that one. She gestured towards a small blonde who was now on the ground, trembling in pain from numerous. You will, at the very least, allow me to tend to that, won't you? I wanted to see how you would do it. Plan to force her in a state of rest until the Phoenix destroyed her from the inside, right? Looney Planetary Girl continued her commentary in a cool and concise manner, strangely destroying it from a violent situation that moments ago. That's an alright plan, albeit a roundabout one. Would have just ripped her head off and separate from the body until dawn. That's just barbaric. First time Looney Planetary Girl expressed something. She scoffed. Barbaric? Once she's dead, she's dead. Doesn't matter how she got there. Tiny wielding ghouls. Lowered. I'll never understand the honor among us being. She turned back to Luna Planetary Girl and help me up. Her expression itself into that of pity. Well, I'm running out of voice here. We're about 20 minutes in. I don't like the main character yet. He is very objectifying of the other characters in this thing. The lack of interstitial shots makes the story kind of dull because I'm just reading straight down the edge here. So far, it's been a kinetic novel. There aren't any choices yet. Maybe there is a visual novel aspect that will come up, but in the first 20 minutes, there has not. That is to be said. Maybe there's choices later on. The visuals are all over the place. This person's very Escher-like. The backgrounds tend to go from pretty decent with that triple shot to kind of rough for the scene here. Overall, the story hasn't grabbed me either. I know it's only 20 minutes in. Sometimes you can't, judge it that early on. But this has been Ignis Avis Venatio, and I am going to end it there because I'm having trouble talking. Cheers.